Welcome back to the Strive to Thrive program. Today we are at week 6, day 1, and this week is all about flexibility. You will need a mini band today, so I have mine. We won't need it first thing, but you do need to have it handy. So I just have mine on my chair here for now. So today will be more seated stretches and mobility, and then next time it'll be all about standing stretches and mobility exercises. We'll start out with a standing warm-up, and then we'll go ahead and get started into our stretches. So today we're going to start with some high knees and some big forward arm circles. Drive those knees up with some big forward arm circles. And then from there, kick those heels back and cross the arms out in front. All right, next up, your feet are about hip width apart. Bring the hands next to your ears, just kind of resting up here, not pulling on your neck at all. We're going to push those hips back as we bend down at the waist. Slowly stand back up. We're just going until we feel that slight stretch in the hamstrings, and then standing back up. Let's go for one more. Okay, next up, toe taps out in front, and add in the chest press. We're just trying to warm up our muscles. Even though we're just doing stretches today, it's still important to make sure our muscles are warm before we stretch them. Take it into heel taps, and add in those arm curls. Okay, next up, tap out to the side and reach over. Really getting a good reach to stretch all along the side of our body. Okay, you can stop with that. Next up, we're going to be stepping in a square. What it's going to look like is it's going to be stepping forward, to the side, back, and to the side. So if you need to hold on, please do so, but you're just going to start out stepping in one direction. Don't worry, of course we'll do both directions. Try to stay looking straight ahead rather than down at your feet, but make sure you are picking your feet up. And let's switch directions. Think about like you're stepping in 4 squares. And relax. Okay, next up, we're just gonna twist side to side. Make sure you pivot on that back foot so you don't hurt your knee. And then we're going to finish off our warm-up with some of those reverse shoulder rolls. And relax. And now we can go ahead and sit down. Like I said, all of our exercises today will be seated. So we've got some stretches that we just hold, and then some more dynamic stretches that we're moving a little bit. So it's all intended to help increase flexibility and also improve mobility. We're basically going to start at our feet and work our way up. So the first one, you're sitting a little bit towards the front of your seat, and we're just going to do some heel raises. So let's go ahead and begin. You're sitting up tall, lifting those heels off the floor, just going up on your toes. Pretty simple here, but this is helping with ankle mobility, which then is a good translation to walking. Make sure you're not slouching. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, looking straight ahead. Okay, now we're just going to lift the toes up. So go ahead and try that. You may feel a little less range of motion in this exercise, and that's okay. It's common. But keep those heels planted and just lift the toes up. Just a little longer here. And relax. Next up, we're just going to rock back and forth between our heels and our toes. So lift the heels up and then the toes up. Go ahead and give that a try. Still sitting up nice and tall. Your shoulders are down and back. And you're just slowly rocking back and forth, seeing how high you can lift your heels and your toes. Good, and go ahead and relax. Alright, now is when you need your band. Unlike some exercises we've done where we have to put the band all the way up above our knees, luckily we don't have to do that today. This is just going to kind of assist us today. So if you don't have your band handy, you can also use a towel or a pillowcase or anything like that, because all we're going to do is have it around our foot far enough that it doesn't come back and snap us in the face. So what you're going to do is put it just kind of basically around the ball of your foot. So we're doing one foot at a time. I'm holding my band here. My right leg is bent, my left leg is just out. Slight bend in the left leg. All I'm doing is like I'm pressing on the gas pedal with my left foot. Okay? So once you're ready, go ahead and try that. Nice and slow down and also slow up. Don't let that band or whatever you're using pull your foot back up. You might start to feel this a little bit in the lower leg muscles, but we're mostly just trying to get that ankle moving with a little bit of resistance. Okay, you can stop, making sure to not snap the band on you, and switch legs. Same thing. Get the band in a good position so it's far enough down on your foot that it won't come back up towards you. Holding the band, keep your heel planted, and let's begin. Same thing on this leg now. Pressing on that gas slowly and coming back up slowly. Good, and go ahead and stop. Okay, next up, we're going to use the band for one more exercise. This one, similar concept, but this time it's actually, I'll show you with my foot first. What you're going to do is the foot will be up like this, and you're going to kind of make a downward motion, bring your foot in, and come back up. So what it'll look like is you'll put your band around the ball of your foot, point your toe, come down and in, come up and bring your toes back towards your shin. A little different this time, working the muscles a little bit differently. So go ahead and put your band around your foot. This one you do have to be careful because of our foot being up a little bit more. Again, make sure that it's far enough down on your foot that it won't snap you in the face, because that would not be good. So once you're there, it's pulling back on your foot so your toes are straight up. You're sitting nice and tall. We're just going to go ahead and point the toes and bring them down and in. Slowly retrace that exact motion. So then we just come up. So point down and in, and then go out and up. Slow and controlled. It might feel a little awkward. And if you don't have a lot of ankle mobility, that's okay. That's why we're working on this. It actually helps strengthen the muscles in the low leg, as well as working on our ankle mobility. Okay, go ahead and stop. Now, of course, we're going to do the same thing on the other foot. So get the other foot in the band or your pillowcase or towel, whatever you're using. It might be a little bit more challenging with a towel or a pillowcase, but you can still do it. You might just have to kind of use your arms to give it a little bit more slack. Okay, same thing, except opposite, so we have to use our brain a little. Point down, come in, come out and up. Nice and slow. Don't let the band control you. A little longer here. And relax. Okay, awesome job. You can put the band aside. Now we're going to do some more static stretches where we just kind of hang out and you don't have to work quite as hard. So sit forward on your chair. Bring the right leg out. Your left leg is going to go on top of your right leg. Make sure you feel comfortable in your chair. If you have a chair that could tip over, you might want to lean back on the arms a little. But all you're going to do is with your left leg, you're pulling the toes forward and you should feel the stretch in your calf muscles. So you can sit up tall, you can sit however is comfortable. You might feel the stretch a little in the back of your legs and definitely down your calf muscle. Just holding here. Today is all about just holding these stretches, hanging out, relaxing a little while we still work on increasing our flexibility. Okay, let's take it to the other side. So now the left leg is out straight, right leg comes on top, and pull the toes of your right leg back towards your shin. Again, getting now the stretch in the right calf muscle. And now from here, we're moving right on up. This time we're working the back of our legs and our hamstrings. So bring that left leg back out. Your left leg is straight. You're still sitting on the edge, towards the edge of your chair, I should say. Resting your hands on your right leg, which is bent. And you're just going to lean forward at the waist, far enough down until you feel that stretch all the way down in this hamstring and maybe down further on the leg. You're not arching your back like this. You're sitting up tall and just leaning forward slightly until you feel a gentle stretch back here. And it depends how tight you are for how far down you'll feel the stretch. Some people just feel it mostly in the hamstrings. A lot of others feel it down in the knee and maybe even down into the calf. I want you to remember as we go through our stretches to just keep breathing regularly. Try not to hold your breath, especially if it really stretches your muscles. We're going for gentle stretches, so you don't want to be to the point where it's painful, just feeling a gentle stretch. Let's take it to the other side. So bring that right leg out, left or hands on your left leg, and lean forward, just at the waist, keeping good posture with your upper body. If it's too much of a stretch, just sit up a little more. The nice thing with these stretches is that you control how much you feel it. And go ahead and relax. Okay, you can sit back just a little bit in your chair, not all the way back. This next one is actually going to work on strengthening the quad muscles a little. It's a very basic exercise, but it's great to help strengthen specifically these inside quad muscles, which can actually help with knee pain. So it's a good strengthening exercise that you can do just while sitting in your chair. All you're going to do is sit up. You're going to straighten your right leg, tighten this right quad, hold it for a couple of seconds, bring it down, and then we're switching sides. So I point my toes up towards the ceiling. You can even feel that leg, make sure it's firing. That's how you're really going to get the most out of it. And if you feel on the inside of your knees, That area should be where you really feel those muscles working. So we're just going to do 5 on each side for a total of 10, starting with the right leg. Let's bring it out, tighten that right quad, hold it briefly, slowly come down, and the left side, same thing. Okay, back to the right side. It's pretty amazing that such a simple exercise can do so much for you. It can help make walking easier, walking up the stairs easier, just kind of sitting up from a chair, anything like that, just by doing this basic exercise. It's a really good way to help strengthen your quads. Let's go for one more on each side. Last one. And relax. All right, this next one is going to stretch out our hips. So you may need to sit forward a little. This is our piriformis stretch. So you're going to take your left leg, cross it over your right leg, sit up nice and tall, and feel the stretch in your left glute. Just a reminder, if this is too much for you, you can have your right leg out further away from you, which will still give you a stretch. But if you can't quite get your leg up there, it may be a little bit of an easier way. And if you don't have that hip flexibility, try to get your leg up as far as you can, and you can always hold on to your shoe, your sock, your pant leg to keep your foot up there. And if you are that tight, you should still feel a stretch here. We're sitting up tall, we're not bouncing on it or anything, we're just hanging out here. I always tell people this is one of those hurts so good stretches. We really feel it, but we really need it. And it kind of hurts, but it does feel good, especially afterwards. Okay, go ahead and take it to the other side. Slowly bring that leg down. Right leg comes up, cross it over the left leg, sitting up tall. Now we're stretching the piriformis and the right glute. Just a little longer here. Enjoy the stretch, how good it feels. And go ahead and relax. Ooh, okay, now you can go ahead and sit back all the way in your chair. Keep your feet flat on the floor. The next one we're going to do is just going to be a torso twist. So this kind of helps with trunk mobility a little. So you can grab a hold of your armrests if you have armrests, or maybe the back of your chair or the side of your seat, whatever works best. And you're just going to grab onto the right and pull yourself and just twist to the right, keeping your vision straight ahead where your head is. That way you're not looking down or looking too far up. It's just kind of natural, a good neutral position for your neck. And take it to the other side. Same thing, twisting to the left now, keeping your vision just right where it goes as you twist. And bring it back to center. All right, now we're going to stretch out our chest in a couple of different ways. So to start, bring your hands down at your side, palms forward. You're just sitting up nice and tall, feet are flat, and you're just pulling those arms back as far as you can while sitting nice and tall. Pull those arms back. Notice where you feel the stretch in the chest. And relax. Okay, now bring the arms out to the side and pull back. You should feel the stretch a little differently now. And relax. And finally, you're going to bring your arms out straight with the palms forward. Pull the arms back as far as you can while sitting up tall. If you have any shoulder issues, you may need to not do this one, or you just may kind of only be able to go up here. If nothing else, you can try to work on that shoulder range of motion, but we're just trying to open up the chest and also work on shoulder range of motion and mobility. And go ahead and relax. Okay, next up, you're just going to lean over towards the right with your left arm. You can rest on your armrest or just kind of hang your arm down, whatever feels comfortable for you. Really try to reach as far as you can. That'll give you a deeper stretch along the left side here. Okay, now take the right arm and bring it over to the left. And bring it back to center. Now you're just going to bring one arm across your body and hold on to that arm, feeling that stretch in the back side of the shoulder here, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And take it to the other side. Gentle pull as much as you can tolerate. And relax. All right, now we're going to move into the wrists. Do some mobility first, and then we'll kind of stretch them out in case they get tired from this. So what I want you to do is just sit comfortable in your chair, whether that's sitting forward a little or towards the back. I just want your feet to be planted and you to be sitting up nice and tall. You're just gonna have your elbows bent. We're gonna start out bringing our wrists up and down. Nice and slow and controlled. Pay attention to the mobility in both wrists. If you've had any wrist injuries over the years or arthritis or anything like that, you may be limited in how far you can go. That's okay. It's good to just move through the motions the best you can. Now go in circles. You can go the same direction or you can go this way. I don't know, I guess that's opposite directions. Yeah. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna switch directions anyways. This is easier for my brain. Switch directions. And relax. Okay, next up, you're just going to be painting. So I want you to kind of hold your paintbrush however you may do it in both hands. We're gonna paint at the same time with both hands. So you're just gonna kind of move the wrists in whatever way floats your boat. Just kind of moving the wrists around. No particular pattern. We just want to keep moving our wrists around. We don't always do it, so it's just good to get those wrists moving and loosened up. And relax. Okay, now we'll stretch them out a little in case your wrists feel a little tired. So bring your right arm out with your palm out and just gently pull on those fingers. Kind of the palm, just gently. You don't want any shooting pains up the arm. If you do get that, definitely loosen up on the stretch or maybe don't do it. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Now turn that palm down, facing you. This one, you'll get more of a stretch on top here. Bring it to the other side, palm away from you. Just stretch the underside of the forearm here. And turn the palm down. Keep those shoulders relaxed still. I know it's tempting to shrug the shoulders, but we're trying to get everything loosened up today, not more tense in those shoulders. And relax. All right. Next up, we're just going to move our fingers a little with some cherry pickers, so touching each finger to your thumb. Nothing fancy today, just the basics. Keeping the elbows bent. Just trying to move our fingers a little bit. And relax. All right, now we're going to move on to our neck. So to start with, we've got some mobility exercises where we're going to be moving our neck around a little more. So to start with, I want you to look in each of the four corners. So you're going to look down towards the right, up towards the right, up to the left, and down to the left. So you're basically just looking in a square, and we're going to start out one direction and then we'll switch directions, okay? So let's begin. Look down to the right, up to the right, up to the left, down to the left, down to the right, up to the right, up to the left, down to the left. Switch directions. So we're starting down to the left, look up to the left, up to the right, down to the right, down to the left, up to the left, up to the right, down to the right, and relax. Whew. Okay, next up, we're going to channel our inner owl by just trying to look as far over each shoulder as we can, holding for a couple of seconds, and then just going to the other side. So sit up nice and tall, relax the shoulders, and start out looking over towards the right shoulder as far as you can, and slowly turn to the left. Back to the right, and to the left again. Bring it back to center. Moving right along. This time, you're going to tuck your chin to your chest and then look up to the ceiling. So we'll hold each one just a couple of seconds again. So you're going to tuck the chin, looking down towards your chest, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck, and then look up towards the ceiling as far as you can, trying to stretch out the front of the neck. Back down to the chest, and up towards the ceiling once more. Bring it back to center. Now you're just going to tuck your chin to your chest and roll your head from one side to the other in the front of your body. Bring it back to center. Now keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Bring the right ear to your right shoulder. Now we just get to hold this to enjoy the stretch on the left side. And bring the left ear to the left shoulder, stretching the right side of the neck. Bring it back to center. Once more, right ear to the right shoulder, but this time look down towards the floor. You should feel the stretch a little bit more on the back side of the neck now. Bring it up to center and to the left. Start out with your left ear to your shoulder and look down to the floor. Bring it back up to center. Okay, we're just going to finish off with some deep breaths, sitting nice and tall. I just want you to relax your body, get your arms wherever is comfortable. We're just going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So let's inhale and exhale. Big deep breaths again. And exhale. One more time. And exhale. And relax. Okay, great job today. I hope this left you feeling nice and stretched out. Next time we'll do standing stretches. I will see you then.